The tip this week is about how to darn up the thumb of a mitten or the fingers of a glove. And first thing you want to do is leave a very long yarn tail when you pick up the stitches for the thumb, because you want to have enough that you can work with. Now if I notice here, I've got this big hole, but part of that is it's a stitch, so I need to kind of find the excess yarn and pull it, and that's tightened it up quite a bit, except that it's kind of nasty looking over here. You want to kind of even up the stitches, and you might want to look at the right side while you do this. Okay, and then I've got my hole here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do sort of things like a duplicate stitch. Can't do an exact duplicate stitch because I've picked up the yarn, I picked up the stitches so that it isn't a true duplicate. And I'm just going to look at it and see where I've got some holes, and just try and follow the path of some yarn to close up those holes. And this is like embroidery. It is not going to be perfect. What you're really trying to do is to close up holes without making it too bulky. Now let's look over on this side, and I've got some pretty big holes there. Now one thing I can do is, these are holes where the yarn, the stitches on one side are smaller and the stitches on the other side are larger. So what I'm going to try and do is just kind of even out that yarn. You see that that already looks better. And I'm going to try and even it out on this side. And I'm not going to be able to do it completely because the stitches are being pulled in different directions. Now I'm just going to kind of weave this yarn over here. And tie back my thumb, my needle, and I'm going to see where my holes are. Well, I've got kind of a hole here, so I'm going to go up and again try and follow the paths of the yarn to make these things smaller. And I got a big old hole here. And I'm going to do kind of a duplicate stitch there. And I think I've done a pretty good job. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave in my yarn tail. I'll try pulling that over there a bit. Just where you see holes, try and close them up. And now I'm going to do true duplicate stitch to get rid of my yarn tail. And there we have it. And I'll trim that. Now, this is not going to be perfect. If you are expecting perfection when you do a thumb, you are just going to be disappointed, because there's always going to be, it's never going to be perfect. But it's going to be fairly neat and there not be holes. Okay, and that's this yarn. I'll probably want to go in there. That has nothing to do with the thumb. That's just excess yarn from where this yarn is kind of weird. And I'll just go in and neaten up where I can. Okay?